We're streaming live today. We're streaming on ustream.com. So don't worry, we're not looking at everybody, except it's just pointed like right here. And can you kind of see Becky? Or
I'm watching a commercial.
You're watching a commercial, okay. Yeah, we have a couple of people in New Zealand and in Great Britain who would like to watch. I'm not sure how easily really they're going to be watching, because I know in New Zealand it's like in the middle of the night right now. It's like 2 or 3 or something, so.
Well, they can watch it later, right? It records and stays on the website?
Yes.
Oh, cool. We'll have to check it out too.
So it's just a way of getting ourselves out there and into the world.
Yeah, I can see Becky.
Okay. So don't do anything weird online, okay?
I'll try not to.
Wait, that went on there, didn't it? I have to learn how to edit this now too.
If you could move it a little bit over towards Becky, just a little bit.
Want me to move in the chair?
Just a slight amount. There you go. Yeah, a little lower. I moved it up.
Here, I'll hold it up. You're too comfy.
There you go.
Okay.
That'll work.
Okay.
You just call her your little friend.
My little friend.
I look like I'm hobbing in the corner of your miniature.
Yeah, little hobbit piece.
I am, yes. I'll be the elf in the corner.
Yes. Okay. Oh, I'm hitting everything. Okay. Well, I do have some really good news for you today, Bright Stars. Did you know that the same power and presence that put the galaxies into their spin and has the planets in their orbits and causes the caterpillar to transform into a butterfly and the bud to blossom into a rose and the oak to grow out of an acorn, that same power and presence is inside of each and every one of us, which means that possibilities are unlimited. And so we're going to start off today with our theme song, I Am Free, which I think you all know. I am free, I am unlimited, there are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited, right now, I am free, I am unlimited, there are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited, right now. Now we'll have our meet and greet. Say hello to your neighbor.
Yes.
Nice to see you. I remember that I love baking
Okay, so next is our daily word.
And today our daily word is sanctuary. The peace of God is the sanctuary of my soul. Deep within me is a holy, sacred place of peace. If I feel afraid or unsure, this inner sanctuary protects me. The peace of God within is my place of safety. Praying, reading spiritual materials, and pausing to take a mindful breath are passageways to my inner sanctuary. They lead me to refuge and peace. Any fear or concerns dissipate as I focus on the power and the protection of God within. Instead of nervousness and tension, I experience the one presence and the one power within me. I am safe and protected. I move through my day attuned to the serenity of my soul. This peace is always with me. It is my inner sanctuary. It connects me with God. And we say together, the peace of God is the sanctuary of my soul. The peace of God is the sanctuary of my soul. And from Psalm 21:2, the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May he send you help from the sanctuary.
We're like a living room church. That's what Lauren said.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
Okay, and I have announcements. We're having our Bright Star Youth movie night this Wednesday. We're watching the movie The Rocker. It's a movie about the power of forgiveness and letting go, and it will start at 6 p.m. and go till around 8:30 or 9, and we'll have snacks available. And we'll be starting our next book club in September. We'll be doing The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This simple book is filled with powerful truths about walking the spiritual walk, and it just gets better and better each time we read it. And Deanna will be running a load of gently used clothing and shoes and purses to the Greater Good Thrift Boutique if you'd like to donate anything.
That sounds kind of funny. It sounds like I'm going to be doing laundry. I will not be doing laundry.
I'm stop for a second. I thought I read it wrong. Okay, all right. And now Deanna's going to sing a song for us.
Yes, I'll be taking clothes over. My talk today is called True Colors, Your True Colors. So I'm going to start off with a song that I think maybe some of you might find familiar. You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged or realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you make you feel so small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors, your true colors, beautiful like a rainbow. true colors, your true colors are shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors, your true colors, your true colors are beautiful like a rainbow. That is a Cyndi Lauper song, in case you didn't know. So my talk today is True Colors, and we're coming off of our rainbow series and talking about all the colors of our spirit. And I have this scarf that my mom sent me, or my mom brought back to me from New Zealand or Australia a few years ago. What color would you say the scarf is?
Gold.
It's a gold color, huh? Kind of gold. This scarf is every color, isn't it? Every color. And this is how we are. We are every color. But we don't always shine our true colors. But these are our true colors. Our true colors are every color. Our true colors are when we're allowing God to express through us and work through us and inspire us. Now, when I had posted that my sermon was going to be called True Colors, and I was saying how our true colors are when God works through us, somebody actually said to me, or when you're angry. And I'm like, well, we have heard that term before, right? Oh, I saw their true colors. But that actually is implying that our true colors is negative. But that's not it. Our true colors are when we're expressing our source. And it's when we get angry and we're judgmental and we're disconnected that we're actually not shining our true colors. So our true colors are everything that we shine. Now in the book of Romans, it says, those who are led by the Spirit of God are the sons of God. And I think that's a very powerful verse because it's saying we become like the Christ, we shine the Christ light when we're led by the Spirit of God. And being led by the Spirit of God is being led by love and compassion. And it's allowing ourselves to be directed in a way that is for our soul's purpose and for the greater good of those around us. And that is our number one goal. Now last week I gave out these bracelets, and it says on the bracelet, the peace of God is my one goal. And if you didn't get one, I think everybody probably did get one. If you didn't get one, I still have some. You weren't here, so you need some. But the peace of God is my one goal. That really is our one goal, because if we have God working through us, we find that inner peace. When we are expressing our true colors, that means God is working through us, and we have inner peace, and we have inspiration, and we are being guided and told what we're here to do. And it keeps us from wanting to be judgmental or separate ourselves. There are things that happen to us that keep us from being able to express God. And that all comes from our ego. And our ego is the part that lives inside of our mind that's made by humanity. It's a creation of humanity. It's not a creation of God. And the ego is that little part of us that likes to keep us separate. It's that little voice that says, oh, that person, they don't agree with you, so they're mean, and they don't like you, and they don't approve of you, so they're no good. Well, and you're no good if you can't get everybody to like you. The ego is that voice that keeps us judging, and keeps us doubting, and keeps us insecure. Now, there are a couple of things I want to talk about that the ego does that I know I've seen happen in my own life, and so maybe you've seen it happen in yours. But one of the things the ego likes to do is to trick us into believing that it's what we have that makes us important. It's our possessions that define us. So if we have the nicest house and the best job and the best car, we have all those things, then everybody's jealous of us, that means we're worthwhile. That means we're worthy. And so the ego likes us to keep us in that place. But the thing is that none of that is permanent. Especially when you think about technical devices like smartphones. My son just got like the best smartphone on the market, and then 10 minutes later, there was a new best smartphone on the market. And I know when I got my first smartphone a couple of years ago, in my homeschooling group with all the other mamas, there was only one other mama there who had a smartphone. And so I showed up that day with my smartphone. I was just like, oh, I need to make a call. And I was like, and now I have to check my email. I'm expecting an important email to come through that I can check on my phone. You know, I had the Palm Pree back then, and that was like the best phone in the world for 5 minutes, right? And so all my friends were just like, oh, did you see that? But then like a month later, somebody came in with a newer phone than me. And then I was just like, oh, I need a new phone. I need a new phone. So our ego tricks us into thinking that it's our possessions that make us who we are. But that's not true, because when we leave this realm and move into the realm where we're pure spirit and light, we're not going to take any of this stuff with us. We're not going to want to take any of this stuff with us. There's a story of this very, very wealthy man, and he has so much money, but he liked to control what his wife was allowed to spend. And he kind of, liked to have his thumb on the power of their finances. And then he died. And so her attorney came to her and was telling her, how the will was. And he said, well, your husband, he did leave you the house, but he wants to be buried with all of his money. And so tomorrow after the funeral, you will need to bring all that money so we can put it in the casket and bury him. And the widow's, okay. And she thought about that. So the next day she comes, they do the funeral, and people leave, and the lawyer's there, ready, and they're ready to put the casket in the ground. And he says, okay, we need all that money. And she says, okay. She pulls a checkbook out of her purse. The attorney says, what are you doing? Well, I'm writing him a check. We can't take, we're not our possessions, no matter how much we like to think we are. We're not our possessions. We're so much more than that. The other thing our ego likes to trick us into thinking is that we are what we do. We're our achievements. We're what all those other people think about us. Now, in 1994, I became a holistic health practitioner, and I was self-employed for the first time, and I did massage therapy. And the first couple years, boy, it was quite a ride, because I would have somebody come in to see me, and they'd say, oh, Deanna, that was the best massage I ever had. I'd be like, oh, I am the best massage therapist ever. And then somebody would come in and say, yeah, that was okay, And then they would go see somebody else in the office next time. And I'd be like, oh, I'm the worst massage therapist ever. And so for a couple of years, it was like up and down, up and down. I was either the best or I was the worst, because I was letting what other people thought of me define me, instead of just putting myself aside and saying to Spirit, whoever can be helped by crossing my path or by me crossing their path, just let us run into each other. And then whatever happens, happens. And so we're not what other people think about us, but when we let that ego voice come inside and say, well, so-and-so didn't think that you did that greatest job, and they're not going to want to see you again. Or so-and-so didn't think you achieved very much. We're separating ourselves from God, and we're not able to shine our true colors because we're not being authentic. We're being somebody who we're not. And we're trying to please everybody else instead of allowing ourselves to be connected to our source. One of the other things the ego likes to trick us into believing, and this is really the hardest one I think for me to overcome, is that because we're in these separate bodies, we must be separate. Because I'm sitting here and I have my own chair, you have your own chair, so we're separate from each other. But I read about this experiment done with healers, and there was a big group of healers. There were thousands of people involved in this experiment. And it was done with distance healing. But the healer, the person sending healing, would have like an EKG hooked up to their head. The person receiving the healing would be put in an MRI machine. And the healers were introduced to the person that they would be healing, so they were able to get a personal relationship. Now, what the doctors found was that when a healer knew the person that they were sending healing to. First of all, when they knew the person and they had some sort of relationship with them. And then the healer realized they were not doing the healing, but they were acting as a channel for divine healing to move through them. And then they imagined the person in front of them, and then they imagined the connection of their hearts. When those healers and the people receiving healing were monitored, the EKG and the MRI showed the greatest amount of activity in the same parts of the brain. Where before the healing happened, there was different activity register. So we are connected. And we know that really at some level, because we've walked into a room before and there's been somebody that was just so negative, and we were just like, oh, I just got to get out of here. And at the same time, we walked into a room and there's been somebody who had so much love and compassion in them that we wanted to be around them. So we are connected at an energetic level. We are, even though we don't have to be like, touching, but we're connected to each other. In fact, at the Heart Math Institute in Colorado, what they found is that the heart's magnetism can connect with the heart's magnetism of other people. So our hearts are connecting on an energetic level all the time, just by feeling love and compassion for each other. So we're not separated. We are connected. Even though it doesn't look like it, we're connected. So the ego likes to get us to forget that. Now, one of the other things the ego does is it likes to trick us into thinking that if there's something in our life, if there's something we want in our life, but we don't have it, then we're lacking something. So if we want a certain job, or we want a certain relationship, or we want a certain car, or we want a certain education, or we want a certain level of health, if we don't have it yet, we're lacking. And then our life will not be the same because we're lacking something. Now, when we start thinking that we're actually lacking something, we've just put a limitation on God. God is a limitless creative source, and yet if we believe that something is impossible, we've just limited how God works through us. We're really putting a limitation on an infinite creative energy, an infinite creative energy that puts galaxies in their spin. And I've been looking at some of the images from the Hubble telescope lately, and they're pretty amazing. And yet the Hubble telescope can only pick up like 5% of what's out in the universe right now. So even with everything we're seeing on the Hubble telescope, all that amazingness, there's still so much more that we're not aware of, that we don't see. So the ego likes to trick us into believing in lack. Now, all of these things make us believe we're separate from God. If we believe that it's our possessions that define us, then we're separated from God. If we believe that it's our bodies that limit us and keep us separate, then we're separate from God. If we believe it's our accomplishments and all the awesome stuff we do that makes other people think we're awesome, that makes us awesome, then we're separate from God. And believing in lack of any kind means we're separate from God. I found this quote, and this was given to me in the Course in Miracles group like over 10 years ago. And it says, our lives are governed by the truth, whether we believe it or not. However, our experience of life is governed by our beliefs, whether they are true or not. Now it's not a Course in Miracles quote, but it's something I learned. Do you remember that?
Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry said that. Now, our lives are governed by the truth, whether we believe it or not. So we always have the Spirit of God that wants to work through us. It's always there and always seeking to help us be the creative force that we are born to be. However, our experience of life is governed by our beliefs, whether they are true or not. So no matter how great I think my cell phone makes me, it's not true. However, my experience of that will make it true for me. Okay, so does that make sense? Our lives are governed by the truth, whether we believe it or not. Our experience of life is governed by our beliefs, whether they are true or not. So we want to shine our true colors. Because shining our true colors means we're letting God work through us. And so no matter all of these things that the ego is always trying to trick us with all the time, every day, there's actually something really simple, really easy that we can do. And that, it comes from a story from the Old Testament, King Solomon. King Solomon was a good and wise king, and the Lord was so impressed with him, he said to the king, "I will give you anything you want." And so King Solomon thought about this. And he finally said, "Lord, please grant me an understanding heart." And the Lord said, "I would have given you vast power or unlimited power. I would have given you unlimited wealth. But because you asked for an understanding heart, which is a heart filled with love and compassion and wisdom, I will give you that wisdom. I will give you that understanding heart. And I will give you unlimited wealth and unlimited power." Because an understanding heart means we have unlimited power. So no matter what our ego is trying to trick us into, no matter what challenges are thrown our way throughout the day, and sometimes there are a lot of them, if we just say, "Just grant me an understanding heart," that's where we start. Because a heart filled with love and wisdom and compassion will put us in the right direction and will help us to shine our true colors. Mother Teresa said, "It is better to love than to be right." And I will say in most cases, 99% of the time, this is correct. Now, there are some things, of course, that are common sense. I'm going to argue with my son if he thinks it's okay to run through a red light. He's getting ready to learn to drive, right? And so there's some things that are just common sense. You don't fly off a cliff, and don't, drink a whole bottle of iron, because if a spoon is good for you, then half a bottle will be better, right? There are things that we use of common sense. But in most of our experiences, having to do with interaction with somebody else, it is more important to be loving. Because, getting into a political debate or a religious debate or a debate on which foods are healthier to eat, or what brand of vitamin is better, or what movie theater is the best movie theater to visit, or what car is the best car to drive. All of these things are just separate perceptions. And if we separate ourselves because we feel we have to be right about something, we've just separated ourselves from people around us. So having that understanding heart will just allow us to come from that place of love, which the ego won't like. The ego's going to be like, "No, you got to be right. I'm right in this." But no, love is what connects us to each other. And lovingly letting another person just have their opinion is okay, because it unites us then. God cannot do any more for us than what God can do through us. We're the channel, we're the tool. Now, if we ask for that understanding heart, we're filled with wisdom, we're filled with compassion, we're filled with love, and then God can move through us very easily. God can utilize us, and we can create miracles in our own lives and lives for people around us, because we're being used, we're being filled with divine inspiration. We want to shine our true colors because it means we are doing what we are meant to be doing in this world, which is bringing love, which is bringing compassion and understanding. We let Spirit work through us, and that means anything is possible. Anything is possible because when we're shining our true colors, when we ask for that understanding heart, we completely understand that it's not necessary for us to limit God. We understand that divine creative force that did put those galaxies into their spin is working through us. And I always think that when we think about our soul's purpose and what we want to be creating and bringing into this world, if it's so big that our ego's like, "You can't do that, there's no way," we've picked the right thing. We want to pick something that's so big that only God, working through us, can cause it to happen. Basically, what this comes down to is asking for an understanding heart. Let Spirit work through us. This takes the pressure off of us. Because when we ask for God to work through us, we don't have to worry about what to do or what to say or where to be, because we know that that divine force that put us here will tell us what to do and what to say and where to be. That divine force will inspire us and lead us in the right direction. Without even trying then, no matter what mistakes we think we've made, without even trying, by asking for that understanding heart, then we are shining our true colors. And that's our lesson for today. Thank you. And now I do have another song. Here, Alana, I'm going to ask you to hold this scarf. Okay? And this song, I think some of you might recognize it. I'm going to ask Becky to hold it up for me. My bifocals don't want to let me read something that low on the ground. I'm a new soul. I came to this strange world, hoping I could learn a bit about how to give and take. But since I came here, felt the joy and the fear, finding myself making every possible mistake. La 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 la. I'm a young soul in this very strange world, hoping I could learn a bit about what is true and fake. But why all this hate? Try to communicate, finding just that love is not always easy to make. La 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 la. La 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 la. This is the happy end, 'cause you don't understand everything you have done. Why's everything so wrong? This is a happy end. Come and give me your hand. I'll take you far away. I'm a new soul. I came to this strange world, hoping I could learn a bit about how to give and take. But since I came here, felt the joy and the fear, finding myself making every possible mistake. La 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 la. Mama with me. La 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 la. La 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 la. That was a lot of la-las. Okay, so now we're going to send some loving energy to our prayer box. Do we have anybody want to pass a prayer down this way? Okay, so just take a moment and just feel that spirit moving through you, because all these bright colors and true colors are shining really bright in here right now, aren't they? So we just take a deep breath. Just close your eyes and feel how God moves through each and every one of us, and that God is moving through each and every one of us all the time. All the time. We just need those little reminders sometimes. And so we think about ourselves first. Think how that spirit is moving through us. Think of how that spirit expresses through us and utilizes us, each of us, as a divine channel. And then imagine our friends and our loved ones who have a prayer request in this box right now. Friends and loved ones and people that we may not know yet. And we send love energy to them right now. That God moves through them and surrounds them with perfect and pure, loving, healing energy. And we just take a moment and just let this beautiful, loving, healing energy settle inside of you, move through you. That beauty, that love, that power and presence is the reason that we are each here today. That creative expression of love is the reason that we are here today. We say thank you, Creator, for the divine expression that flows through me at all times. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for my deep connection to Spirit and for awakening my heart to true love and wisdom and compassion. Thank you for the gift of the understanding heart. And remember then, as you go through your week, that you are a divine expression of a loving Creator. You are a force for good. You are a light, and you light the way. With every beat of your heart, with every breath you take, you radiate light and love into the world around you. In everything you do, you are blessed. And so it is. Amen. And now we will gather together and sing our peace song. In our circle. And Susan, would you mind starting us off?
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And we know for sure that the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen. And so it is. Remember, we have coffee and some cookies in the other room. And we have our tithing box, and if you prefer to pay with credit card, we do have a square. We are small, but we are techie. So thank you so much. And thank you so much for joining us at Bright Star Church.